Hi.
Hi, Jwala.
Hi, can you see me? Is this better?
I
Oops,
can. I've
sorry,
also got
sorry.
to fix my frame a little bit, but I
Yeah,
think
me too.
we're sorted, a little bit sorted. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
It's
Wait,
Thanks for joining. Yeah, this is. Have you got it?
yeah,
Yeah. No, this is easier than the last time around, so
yeah.
it's not that bad.
Mm.
But thank you so much, Jwala, for joining me today. Jwala, of course, as I said, is so well known in badminton. She's been an intrinsic part of India's badminton journey and a two-time Olympian, an Arjuna awardee. I don't think there's a better badminton doubles player than Jwala till now. If she wants to refute that, she can. But
No, I
Jwala,
agree
like I
with you.
said, you do, right? See, that's why I was
Yeah.
going to finish this introduction with the fact that she also has a voice that resonates on the court and outside the court. And there you have it. Blunt and frank as always, a fantastic Jwala. It's a busy time for you, right? You're juggling badminton, you're juggling the movie world. How's that going?
It's tough. It's very tough. I'm taking some time. I'm not taking too much pressure. Luckily, at the academy, my parents are there, so I can, I'm kind of taking
Yeah.
them for granted, I feel sometimes, but they also understand I'm trying to adjust right now. It's everything is pretty much new for me, and yeah, I think I'm managing somehow.
No, I think there's always a time period that comes where, you've got to give in a little bit more, but you'll be back. How's the academy going?
Academy is good now. I'm very excited about the new coach we've hired. He's from Indonesia.
Hmm.
Uh, I am not a very pro foreign coach, but unfortunately, I think the way the system has been running for so many years, I think as a country, we have failed to really put in effort to develop Indian coaches somehow. So I kind of realized this only when I made the academy and I was looking for coaches, and I was not able to find a good set of coaches.
So is that we were going to speak about the system and I know your views on that, but is that also somehow resonating on the kind of coaches that come out?
As in, the thing is, I would only blame the system really. We are not paying enough to our coaches. We don't talk about our coaches. Nobody talks about, we know only one coach in India, that is the badminton coach. you know we don't talk about any other coaches. We don't talk about the wrestling coaches. We don't talk about the now we have a new Olympic champion. We don't talk about his coach. We don't talk about boxers. We don't talk about anybody. So basically, today we are living in a world where if someone has good marketing, great PR, he's the best, he or she is the best. Otherwise, others who cannot probably afford to, go that way, or probably don't have the capacity to think about, going that way, is ignored or not talked about at all.
My grouse, and I think I mentioned this to you the last time we chatted, was the fact that badminton seems to have been centered in a particular region.
Mhm.
And, you are going to expect the champions that keep coming just from there. Everybody then gets into this. I don't know if it's a coterie, but, I mean, that there is some sort of a relationship because you're coming from a particular academy or you're coming from a particular area. And what stops us? I mean, I was really glad to get Lakshay Sen into the mix in a sense that, I know he's training in Bangalore, but okay, he's not part of the region. But what is it that we can do to encourage the rest of the country to come on par?
We need to uh, we need to start asking questions. I think people who are not part of that particular camp, are not able to or don't have a voice. Like even Lakshya Sen has done really good, really great. But is he getting enough after that? I don't think so. Nobody's talking about him. Nobody is, he needs to be promoted more aggressively. If it was the other way, we would have been talking about him more often.
Well, he's just joined. Hi, Lakshya. We're speaking about you. Thank you for joining us. So yeah,
So yeah, I
and
think I think we
yeah.
need to start talking about it. I think we need to because every time it's just me, Jyotsna, it's like then
Yeah.
people are like, why are you only complaining? Where are the other people who are actually, you think, you're telling us that the majority of the badminton or people are suffering, but where are they? So nobody talks about it really, and then it is, and then media is also not paying attention really. Actually,
So
media
has
should be doing this, uh, the job of speaking or asking questions. Media is kind of quiet nowadays.
so has nothing really changed since we
Nope.
last spoke, probably,
No, I'm
and
trying.
no more voices. Yeah.
I'm trying. I keep writing letters. I've written letters. I'm in the selection committee for juniors. But for past 2 years, it's been quite dull because of COVID as well. I don't blame anybody. But you see the Thomas Cup, which happened, and everybody knows what happened at the selection trials. Again, no media is covering about it. Nobody is talking about it. A lot of players were tested positive on 15th of January, but a particular players who are from the particular camp were allowed to play on the 18th of January in Lucknow. So you understand? So there is no end to this. It's just happening on a repeat mode. It's on loop. A lot of players are losing hope. A lot of parents who are not from my academy have contacted me. I'm like, why are you contacting me? Why did you think of me? And they were like, we know if not now, you will help us, you will stand for us. This is what they're saying, and I feel bad that I'm not able to help them.
So
So
how
it's
tough is
quite
it to
sad.
be the lonely voice? So how tough is it to be the
It
only
is
voice?
tough. It is tough. It is very tough because also I've also observed that even publicly, someone I'm judged, Jyotsna. I'm continuously judged, really, of the way I look, of the way I am. I'm always people think I'm partying and having fun and living her life, doing what she wants. But when I say something serious, people don't take me seriously. Somehow there is this perception that women who take care of themselves are not supposed to be taken seriously in our society, for some reason, you know. And that's the perception everybody has.
Yeah,
It's
it's
quite
unfortunate, but
surprising, yeah.
yeah. But I think it's been so normalized, in the way that
It
we've
is
kind of brought
normalized,
down
and then
women.
men who are very who put up a show of being very subtle or submissive, but we know what they are, behind the screen or behind the camera. And people like to believe that such people like to believe the saintliness of a man than a woman. Yeah.
But won't questions eventually come up? Because, I mean, it seems to be a good time for badminton when it comes to the men. But when we're again looking at what's going on the women's side, the question always is, where is that bench strength? Who after PV Sindhu? So
No,
won't the
men
questions arise
also, Jyotsna.
automatically?
No, but men also what? It was one off, right? It was not expected.
Yeah.
Again, it's like a fluke. Like even the doubles, if you see, nobody made sure that they you know you form the combination and then invest on them and then expect a result, right? It just happened. Then we take the credit. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Right, right.
even Lakshya Sen, we all knew he was doing well, but nobody again talks about him because he doesn't belong to a particular clan, you know. And then when he wins, we all celebrate and we take the credit. So that's exactly what is happening, even men or women. But there's no bench strength. You see the doubles event, there's nobody, you know. And now there was a team championship just, I think, few weeks ago. Sindhu decided not to play, but then we don't have anybody, you know. We don't have
Mm.
anybody. We cannot depend on anybody. So it's quite sad, and this culture of giving one person the credit for the development of badminton, I think, is wrong. Because if anything wrong is happening in badminton, also he should be taking the responsibility. It's not like everything, any medal won is because of this person. If no medal won or something wrong happened, or you know, if the team underperforms, the association gets the blame. So that's a
But
little.
perhaps it's also, isn't it also a bit like cricket, the transitory phase where you're going from one strength to another. You're done with the sense with the veteran players, and now you're looking for more young ones to come up. So that there's always that phase that a sport hits or a team hits at some
Sure,
point.
I'm not going to deny that, uh, but we didn't have that kind of a phase. It was again, you know, it was everything was like when we win, it is completely at our own cost, or you know, it was not like we invested in you. We gave you everything. So people always compare me, Saina, Sindhu. Oh, Jwala, you've not been consistent, but I never got consistent support as well for you to expect me results. Whatever results I got, I feel is on my own. Yes, government invested in me because I think government funds the association. Not many people know about it because whenever an athlete wins, they keep thanking the private sponsors, but nobody thanks the government, the kind of money they spend on our sport. And whatever exposure trips we go outside to play for the country, you know, every tournament is funded by the government, and we don't give them enough credit. But then if you see Saina, Sindhu, or Shrikant, like, you know, the singles players, let's talk about the singles players. They get a lot of sponsorship, they get all the endorsements, and they belong to one particular camp, so they get all kinds of promotions. And me, I was world number 6, and I never got any corporate sponsors or any private funding for me to put that extra effort, you know.
So is it still tough for the sport, for badminton players to get corporate funding, given that badminton has reached the top levels when it
It
comes
is
to
tough.
as a sport, as an acceptance of a sport in the country.
So if
We don't
if the
accept sports
association
barring cricket.
if the association is not promoting you, you know, if your own people, it's like if your own family has disowned you, basically, the whole society disowns you. It's something like that. You know, badminton, like I was literally disowned. I was literally on my own playing. I've played so many tournaments where I went at my own expense, and there was Indian team being sent. I was the national champion, but I was not part of the Indian team. And there was Indian team being sent. They, you know, lost out in qualifying, not even crossing the first round. I'm going and winning the tournament. There have been these incidents. You know, it was, imagine your number one player playing at your own expense, and they still want to, you know, criticize me that you are not consistent or you didn't do good enough. I think I did better than the present chief coach internationally.
So what is it, how then that's your big learning. How would you implement that today with, upcoming players?
So I would see, we should not forget badminton is an individual sport, all right? And then if you are okay with players, you know, not you, so there's only a limited bench in the Indian team. But then what about the players who want to play at their own expense and who can afford to play? My point is, let's
Yeah.
not stop those players, you know, let's not stop those players. They are not taking away any entitled seat of a player who deserves it. They want to play at their own expense. You should allow them to play. At least then they are motivated. Now, children are not motivated because they know that there is uh, hello. Children are not motivated because they know that there is favoritism going on, there is partiality going on, and everything is not fair. So at least allow them to play whatever tournaments they want to play, so that nobody complains, right? And then if the children are winning national level tournaments, and if you say that these tournaments were for the selection of a particular tournament, put them in the team. That also doesn't happen. Every time, every tournament, there are changes in rules for which is convenient to one particular clan. And that is the truth. I think everybody knows it. Nobody wants to talk about it. I don't know, playing safe, where it is getting them, really.
So,
I really don't know.
do they all do they speak with you behind the scenes,
Yeah,
or
everybody has spoken. Everybody is not happy, but they're just scared. They just want to be safe. I don't know. That's what I feel. Where is this being safe getting them? It's not getting them anywhere, really.
is that symptomatic of the way Indian sport is run anyway?
I think not just Indian sport. I think it is the mentality of our society, current society today, the herd mentality. Just be safe, be behind people. Like, I would like to speak, but then people behind me don't want to come up and speak with me. They would prefer to be behind me and take the benefits out of me speaking, but they would not come and stand with me.
And
I think,
unfortunately, I think we're seeing a
yeah, I think
reflection of
that's,
that outside as
but
well.
I think this is how our society has become, which is very sad. Yeah.
Yeah, you've had your fair share of brickbats and racism coming your way as well outside, right? How do you deal with that?
See, racism, I feel I would like to give also social media, Jyotsna. Social media, it's like the power of anonymity. Nobody knows who is behind that particular username and all of that. So I feel that the social media policing should become more, stricter, more stringent, because I feel there could be young children who could be loosely talking and they wouldn't mean it, but then what it's teaching them. We don't have this counseling, kind of we don't believe in counseling, we don't believe in therapies. We're in this last 4 5 years, at least what I've seen, we are jumping to judge people. We are not understanding from which background people are coming from, what kind of a life they have led before they probably would have done something wrong. We are not taking 1 minute to analyze if somebody is saying something. We are okay to believe him, or we're not okay to believe him. We don't want to sit back, analyze, क्यों बोला, क्या हुआ, why he said something like that, or which politician is good for us, or which politician not good for us. We are not doing any sort of homework. I think we've lost the power of analyzing any situation, and it is so sad that most of us are very educated, very well educated. You know,
That's the irony.
yeah, that's the irony. And where is this education going? सबको safe रहना है, घर में रहना है. Then what if you're not safe at home tomorrow? You know,
Does
then
your family at
who would
some
we
time
who would we
come
blame?
and tell you, no, I'm with you. I totally understand because I know you're one of the few voices that consistently does speak up on social media on other issues, not just badminton. Sometimes does your family tell you that don't speak? Let it pass.
They do, but they also know this is part of my personality. And for me, it is like now I'm trying really hard to keep quiet. I try not to be political, but people don't understand this, that this is me, this is part of, this is how I've been brought up, really. And today I feel our society is suffering because a lot of good people are keeping quiet. And tomorrow I'll have my own children, and I don't want to be asked this question by my children. What did you do? You know, why didn't you say anything? Today we are enjoying, the society or our lives is because of what our forefathers have, you know, done for us. And I don't want to be blamed, or um, I want to play my part, being the good citizen of our country, of this world.
You mentioned children, Jwala, and this is a question that's been bothering me. No, it's not nothing personal, trust me. But no, it's been bothering me, about the fact that the last 2 years we've seen a lot of young children who, I mean, most of them have been stuck inside, right? They've
Hmm.
had to let go of their sport. Now,
Yeah.
you've got an academy. How tough is it after 2 years of, losing the momentum in a sense for these children to get them back into the training fold, to inspire them to pick up a racket and come back and play again?
It was tough. It was not easy, and also for me, education is also very important. So I always keep telling my children that I believe in educated sports persons. I don't want you to leave your education behind. So last 2 years, everything is online. Somehow they're stuck to their phones or iPads or laptops. My best friends' children are always on, on phones or iPads for their online schooling. I feel bad, really. Children need to get out, meet other children. They need to learn, and these formative years are also very important for them to learn. So it is sad, but I guess we have to cope with whatever is available. Nobody's to be blamed. But I now
Nobody, yeah.
I hope that children are able to go to school and get back to normal. And there's so much to learn going to school. So I encourage the parents. Parents now, because of this sports has gotten a lot of what do you say? Now people want to get famous, or they're seeing like once you're champion, what kind of a fame or name or money. So parents are investing, but then now parents are like, sir, sports karo, and then no need to go to school. I'm like, and then I kind of force them to put them back in school, you know, and because you learn a lot in school, and just learning badminton your whole life is not good enough to have a good life after retiring from badminton. Yeah.
How tough has the transition been for you?
After badminton, I still haven't retired
So,
formally.
formally, I know. Okay, so we'll wait.
I Yeah, but that also was a very conscious decision for me because you know I kind of, well, as humans you always expect, you can't stop expecting. I shouldn't have expected anything from BAI, especially from the ones who are running it. And I was not even given a proper farewell. Nobody asked me what you want to do, you know, and I felt like when they are not, bothered, why should I announce it? I don't want to announce. I don't want to say. I'll keep it open. Yeah, doesn't
What about
matter.
Ashwani Ponnappa? You guys were always on court together. What has it been like off court?
So I don't talk to Ashwini really, not too much right now. Um, there were certain things which happened which I was not comfortable with the way she handled. She probably didn't know how to handle it. Uh, uh, but there was no excuse for something like that. I somehow still feel she could have communicated things a little in a better way. I've played with her since 2009, and it didn't end properly. So I don't really I don't appreciate people who don't have gratitude in life. So yeah, that's about it. So I don't
Unfortunate.
really. Yeah, it is unfortunate. I always told her that I would see. I want to be your friend even after badminton. You know, I've always told her that communication
How
is the
tough is
key.
it to keep friendships on the circuit? I mean, we have
It
seen,
is
at least on
tough.
social
I
media,
think,
but
Jyotsna, I don't think it is their fault as well. I intimidate a lot of people. So, I don't know, I have three best friends who are women, and we three are same. We four are same. We intimidate people, and I guess that's why we're best friends. But I think when women are intimidating, it's a little tough for them to hold on to friendships or relationships otherwise.
I think it's
Yeah.
the same elsewhere as well. I think it's that
Yeah,
that's the
even
story for all
even
of us
men
outside.
get intimidated, and I don't blame them. But I've been with someone for like more than 7, 8 years. Come on, give me some benefit of doubt. I've I've been a good friend off court as well, and she knows that. So if she says that she's scared of me or intimidated by me, I cannot believe it because I've been a friend as well. Yeah, it's just an excuse, I think.
So it was fascinating for me just now before this when you mentioned that badminton is not everything, and children should actually study as well, because you see that a lot of coaches actually tell the children that skip that, come, you've got to come and train a little bit more in the morning,
Yeah.
all of that, if you want to take this seriously. How do they balance it?
See, we need to understand that education is just not for the degree. Education is you learn a lot. The capacity of learning increases with education. So if somebody with no education is playing badminton could go this much, but then they have their limits. With education, when I'm trying to learn badminton, my horizon kind of increases. It's limitless. Even today, when I get onto court, I kind of learn new things. What is happening? So I think for a person like me, for a player like me, many people are like, "How do you adapt it?" I think it's the education what I have. It helped me to have this capacity of learning. For me, it's limitless. I can still learn. I think today I'm not injured. I think if I make up my mind today, I think if I get onto court, I'll probably learn more. I can still play.
That would be wonderful. We'd love to see you play again. I know we're almost out of time, but how often do you get to court these days?
Now, I wasn't well. I got COVID, and I wanted to start off in Jan, but then I got COVID, and it's been a little slow. Vishnu's movie is releasing this week, and after this week, I think maybe next week I plan to start off again. But I was getting on court pretty often actually last whole of last year, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I always enjoyed being on court. There was never any pressure, but Arif sir and my dad, they still want to see me play. I'm like, haven't I done enough? You know? But I think parents, it's very difficult for a sports person's parents or coaches to see them retire or, take it easy. And I think I must have done something good to have great parents who still expect, who still think I can do well. So, so I don't know. Let's see.
There's a question on mental health is equally important. Sorry, I just missed that. If you can let us know how you have or have over, oh, sorry, keeps all your personal and professional, how have you overcome all your personal and professional issues and still gone strong? It'll be a great learning. Do you want to just take that?
I think everything takes practice. Nobody is born mentally strong or mentally weak. I
Yeah.
think it is the environment around you, what what, as a child, my dad always spoke positive towards me and told me, you can do anything. And I know, you are, even before I took up badminton, my dad said I was a world champion. So that was the kind of environment I was, and, my coach told me to be fearless and taught me how to be fearless. I think everything takes practice, and I practiced it, every day, every session, to be fearless, and to be bold. And my dad always told me that, if at any given point you think I am wrong, you can fight with me as well, you know and and yeah, you need to practice it. You need to see the good things in life or good things around you, be grateful for what you have, and you will see things in a different light altogether.
Fantastic. I have a couple of very quick questions, only because one question, because I've spoken to several athletes,
Hmm.
who've been top of their game, who've now retired from the sport. Is there anything that, as a country, as a system, that we can do better to allow that transition from, from world champions to retirement to starting again?
Yeah, I feel that's where this education plays a very important part. Then you know what to do. You have these. So I always wanted to have an academy. I knew what kind of an academy I wanted. I knew that I wanted badminton or sports with education. I wanted that kind of an atmosphere. I was lucky to have it. So I think you can start studying again, you know
Yeah, a
that
lot
will
of them
be
do
a
actually.
lot of them do. I would
Yeah.
prefer that they study early on, so that they know what to do even after their retirement. And now there is so much scope. See, I think sports business in our country is very unexplored. It's an unexplored platform, and it's
Yeah.
$1 billion business. Wow, why not put your expertise in that and try and do something new?
Yes, I think there's ample scope to, maybe you should
A
think
lot of
about that.
scope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And finally, going to end this with a personal question. What kind of a space are you in now, post marriage? What is a day like in the life of Jwala?
I'm in a very relaxed, but not so relaxed. I also have this, I have so many children. I have like more than 70, 80 children under me. So I don't have my own children, but I already feel like a mother. I'm tending to all their needs. I make sure that I'm available for everything. Obviously, even for parents to leave their children at early on. I have a 7, 8 year old in my academy in the hostel with their siblings. So I have to tend to them, I have to see them, I have to talk to them. I cannot talk to them like a coach. I have to talk to them like their
Yeah.
mother, and I've learned this, that children at this day and age are very ungrateful. So I've understood this. They'll never be happy. I've made a world-class facility, but they're still not happy. So, this a lot of things which is on a repeat mode. I have to repeat the same things again and again. So I think I'm patient enough to do that. So I'm learning a lot from them. Let's see how it goes.
Well, we're all learning as we go along
Yeah,
from our children, from the
yes.
children around us, and I think they're always teaching us
And
more
I
than
have I have 80
we want
children.
them
You
to
have
teach us.
maybe one or two. I have 80
Too.
children to take care, from the age group of 8 to 20 to 23.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
had to actually throw my elder one out and say, pick up your racket and go.
yeah.
Because, I've been handling the same issue of she's been playing a lot
Mm,
and training, but the last 3, 4 months she just went off because, everything kept opening, shutting. And now to get up and pick up that racket and leave the house has been, today I said,
yeah,
you just have to get out,
It's the
So
habit,
like I said,
Jyotsna, it's the habit. Now, last 2 years has been tough, so it is difficult to get back to the routine. So, yeah, you have to probably set an example for them. They'll see you and try and do what you want them to do.
yes, and I will make them listen to this conversation later. But Jwala, always a pleasure speaking with
Thank
you.
you.
Completely blunt and honest, as I
Thank you.
know. And keep that voice going. And all the best with those children, and all the best, as I said, juggling, badminton, and the whole
Yeah,
world.
yeah.
And good luck. Good luck
Thank
for the
you.
future.
Thank you so
Hopefully, I
much.
mean, a lot of people asking you to get back on court. So
Yeah,
you never know, right?
I like that. See, so I must have done something really significant. That's good. I'm happy.
Yes, so we'll see you on court next. All
Yeah,
the
yeah.
best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jwala. Bye.
Bye.
And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Table Talk will be back again soon with another episode. Hope you enjoyed listening to Jwala for today's show. And
Thank you.
that's it for now.